Hey guys, this is Jake here at Canadian Cutting Edge, and today we're taking a look at another knife by Ganzo, as you have seen. This is the FH13-SS. SS is stainless steel. That's the handle. The blade isn't stainless steel, so I don't know why they do SS. The blade is D2 steel, which is a tool steel with a fair bit of chromium. So it's a decent steel, good for most places except for very humid environments and certainly not saltwater environments. This knife also comes in the model number FH13-SS, and that's the exact same knife, exact same construction. It's just a stone wash instead of a black acid wash like this one is. Now, this might look a little bit familiar to you. A few months ago, I reviewed the FH11, which comes as a liner lock with G10 on top, or laminated carbon fiber over G10. And so that's a liner lock version. This is the frame lock version of basically the same knife. So I won't be going super in depth. This won't be a very long video, but a decent length anyways, because frame locks are a bit different than liner locks. They function basically the same way, and I'm going to do a video on locking knives and the most common different types of locks and stuff, and I'm working on that video very soon. I should have had it done already, but it's just not done. But some people don't like frame locks, some people don't like liner locks, but they like the opposite one. So they make both here at Ganzo Firebird, FH11 or FH12. Stick around, the review's coming at you right now. This wooden background is a little bit chewed up. I think I'm planning on, well, soon, once the weather warms up a little bit out here. We had snow again yesterday. I'll take this outside and I'll sand it down. And this is a cherry wood right here, and so cherry just looks really nice. This knife has a lot of things going for it. There's a couple things going for it that I think are really nice touches, and they're aesthetic touches. One of my favorite things about this knife is the treatment on the handle. You've got lines going through here and some lines going across a little bit. It's a acid wash pattern or stone wash type pattern that I've never seen before, and it is very cool. I don't know if a really good, really close-up picture is going to do it justice or not, so I'll try to show it to you here. Let's zoom in a little bit and see if we can get the look. You can see those lines going across it. They're on a slight angle across this way. And then you see the other marks in it every once in a while. To the naked eye, it is, at least to me, it's very appealing. It's actually a more complex look than it seems on the surface. You might notice you've got a recessed spot here. So frame lock, and you've got liner lock, pocket clip. That's what this thing's called. Guess what, folks? This is a pocket clip, and it's right and left possible use. That's really good. I think these are T6. Why did I say F? The words just aren't coming to me today. T6 screws here, and a T8 screw here for the pivot pin. And yes, they're not locking pivots again. That's one con. That's the major con. There's no reason these days why you can't have locked pivot screws. It's just, there's no reason for it. It's seriously, it's dangerous to have to put a screwdriver on each side and try to adjust it. You'll screw up the screws easily. You'll strip them and stuff. Or one screwdriver is going to move and it's going to fall over, and your other screwdriver is going to go and poke you in the hand. It's just, and it's nasty if you get poked in the hand with a Torx head screwdriver. It just tears stuff apart. So what I do is I have a little clamping vise, and I clamp it in a vise, and then it's easier to control when you're doing that. So that's an important thing to do. Get one of those vices or clamps of some sort to hold the knife if you need to take the pivot apart. We've got D2 blade, as I mentioned before. There's a nice little swedge up here, but it doesn't go all the way to the end. High flat grind. I'm just going to call it a full flat grind. It's technically a saber grind because it doesn't go all the way to the spine, but I talked about this on the FH11 video already. The blade's really nice. Stonewash is great. It's a good blade. If you want more information about this blade, check out the FH11 video. The flipper tab, it's got a little bit of jimping on it, and it works great. just pull straight back and it comes flying out. The detent on this is awesome. And just on a slight angle back, and the light switch method and the push button method work quite well. There's their Firebird logo. So it's the Ganzo is the brand, Firebird is the line, and FH11-SS is the 13. FH13 is the model, and FH13-SS is the full model name. It's a little more narrow here at the body. I'm talking about the handle now than it is back here. So it's slightly growing. I like that look an awful lot. The lockup on this thing is perfect, exactly how you'd like, or I'd like, a brand new knife to be. So it engages fully, but it's got enough room to wear across over time. There's no blade play. Actually, there is. Sorry about that. There's a tiny bit of up and down blade play on this guy. That's the second con. No side-to-side blade play, though. Just a little bit up and down, and I don't know why. If I lock it really hard, you can just hear it. There's a little bit of rock on this one. Not a great thing. That's strange for Ganzo. Ganzo usually doesn't have those kinds of issues, but I got to tell you what I have, right? So that's the second con. I may as well tell you the third con right now, and it's over almost every Ganzo knife. Their screws are softer than they should be, and so they strip out easily. That's why I really like my product Drive Grip that I found by Vibra-TITE. If you live in the United States, that's where it's made, Drive Grip, this product. It's the best product you can buy for putting onto the ends of your screwdrivers, especially for dealing with small screws on things like electronics and knives. Buy the Drive Grip product. If you're outside of the United States, if you can get it, then buy the Drive Grip product. It can really save an awful lot of screws and save a lot of frustrations. I've got another video on that. I'll put the video on Drive Grip and another product that's better than threadlocker for use with knives. It's like a threadlocker meets a thread holder kind of product. It's like a reusable thread locker. That's a better way to say it. But right on the very end of the video, on this corner, you'll see a link to that video. So the blade's decent. The sharpener's choil's decent. The flipper tab's decent. The jimping on the back is quite good. It's just a very slight drop point. It's not a straight back. Very slight drop point. D2 steel, and it's been proven that it's actually good old authentic D2 steel. That's nice. It's just this lock rock, a tiny bit of it on this guy. Chamfering on the handle, on the edges, very comfortable in hand. Anybody's hand size is going to find this comfortable. One thing to look out for on frame lock knives, that if you haven't had a frame lock knife before, some people get mixed up, especially if they're left-handed. Your thumb, if it rests over on this lock arm and pushes down, you won't be able to open the knife. It won't open because your detent ball is being compressed onto the blade. So you have to have your thumb away from that frame lock arm. Ow! I had my finger in the way. And then it opens up just fine. So that's one reason why a lot of lefties don't like frame locks, because they end up putting their thumb on there. But even if you're right-handed, if you put your hand around here and you have your finger pushing on the frame lock there, the detent on this is quite good. Let's go over all of the dimensions right now before I get way too far ahead of myself. And I'm going to go over these rather quickly, so pay attention here. And I'm not even sure if I'm going to put the words on the screen. That takes a lot of editing time, and I've been quite sick lately with a digestive problem. And so I know I sound like I'm just fine, but yeah, I've been off a fair bit. So I may or may not put the measurements and the information on the screen right here. The D2 steel, good steel. Hardness of the D2 is around 60 Rockwell hardness, very good. The weight of this knife is 112.5 grams. That's 3.95 ounces, so basically a 4-ounce knife. The factory sharpness of the cutting edge is 165. That's very good. Not awesome or splendid, but it's very good. It's better than average that I've been seeing. The length of the cutting edge is 9.07 centimeters, 3.57 inches. So it's an over 3.5 inch blade. But the blade from the tip to the closest spot on the handle is only 8.72 centimeters, 3.43 inches. So the cutting edge is longer because it comes up underneath here on the handle. The blade thickness right here, whoop, it's going to fall down. The blade thickness right there is 3.5 millimeters. That's 0.138 inches. The blade depth is 2.2 centimeters. That's 0.87 of an inch. The thickness of the edge behind the grind is 0.46 millimeters, which is 0.018 inches. That's very good. I really like that an awful lot. The grind angle, Ganzo didn't do too bad this time. 18.4 degrees on this side, and it's fairly consistent throughout. And on this side, it's 21.5 degrees and fairly consistent angle throughout. Not very bad at all. Of course, when I sharpen these kinds of knives, I do it 20 degrees per side. That's the standard industry norm for this type of knife, like a folding knife, you know, that you keep in your pocket. 20 degrees per side is very standard. The handle now, the handle length is 11.88 centimeters, which is 4.68 inches. The grip area in here is 9.7 centimeters, 3.82 inches. The handle thickness, not counting the pocket clip, is 1 centimeter exactly, yes, 0.393 inches. The handle depth, that's this measurement, its biggest right here, which is 2.45 centimeters, 0.96 of an inch, so just under an inch this way. And when the knife is closed, its biggest right there, which is 2.57 centimeters, 1.01 inches. The total length of this knife when the blade is deployed, so the tip of the handle at the very end at the back here and the tip of the blade, 20.7 centimeters, 8.125 of an inch, 8.125. Very, very good. The cost of this knife here, well, GearBest has got their anniversary sale still going on, their 5th anniversary. So if you want to buy it from GearBest, they've got some good prices, but there's other places you can get this as well. I got mine from GearBest. And 30 US dollars, which is just over 40 Canadian dollars, about 26.70 for euros, and about 23.1 British pounds. If you find it somewhere else cheaper, hey, go for it. I've got links down below so you can get this from GearBest. And I might have other links down below as well, maybe in the future. We'll see. So there you go. One of the things I failed to mention is it's a backspacer, small backspacer knife, and it's a little bit skeletonized. So just after I show you this lanyard hole, it's a little post down here in a hole. So it's a nice way to sort of hide a lanyard hole. Maybe a still shot will show you better. So you put your cordage through there, and it's a really nice way to do a lanyard. I actually like this an awful lot. And now let's show you pictures of the knife taken apart. Good ball bearings, nice detent. I really, really like this knife, except for this one has a little bit of rock. I might like up and down rock. If there's enough interest, if there's some demand for it, I might do a video on how to fix that. Now, I don't have yet a good method on how to fix that. So I'd have to do a whole bunch of research and a whole bunch of testing and stuff. So it might take quite a while before it comes out. But if you guys aren't interested in that anyways, I won't do it. But so tell me in the comments below if you want me to do a video on how to fix a frame lock or a liner lock knife that's got blade play up and down. If it has a different type of lock, totally different method to repair it and fix it. So frame lock or liner lock, where the blade can move up and down a little bit. If you want that video, tell me in the comments below. So pros and cons. I like this knife. The lanyard option's cool. The finish on the outside of this knife, this gray black acid wash, is phenomenal. I just love it. It's really, really nice. The action is very good. The detent is, very crisp, and takes a good amount of action to open it, and it opens with authority. It's a very useful blade shape. Nice belly, nice straight edge here. thick behind the point and stuff. It's a good knife design. A right and left pocket clip, that's a really good thing. At the price that they've charged for this thing, I wish they would have put a little blank in there with some screws so that wouldn't be a hole, but that's not a big deal either. The cons, those 3 cons again: soft screws. There's blade play up and down, which I find very unusual for Ganzo. I've reviewed over 100 Ganzo knives, and this is the first time I've seen this. So yeah, that is unusual for them. So that's my video. Thanks for watching my video. Patreon supporters, you guys are the very best. It's almost the end of the month. So if you want to become a Patreon supporter, you go to patreon.com/CCE, and you can check out ways that you can support this channel if that's what you'd like to do. Otherwise, I just want to thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting. You guys are awesome. The knife community is the best. Remember, always cut towards your chum, not your thumb.